think with how successful it was, I think with how much people enjoyed the film, I would be shocked if conversations weren't at least being had about it, right?
I have to face it. Rose.
Smile.
Hi, Kyle. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Well, congratulations on Smile. It's a hit.
Thank you. Yeah.
It just surpassed like 200 million globally.
I know, it's pretty insane. I'd be surprised. I think it probably has passed 100 million domestically at this point, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's about to. I just
It's
checked this
so
morning.
it's like
so close.
it's so
I think
close.
by tonight,
We'll
because I
see,
think
we'll see.
every night it's making, I think, about 800,000. So
Okay, cool.
so you're there.
Like,
Well, I mean, everyone's talking about this movie. It's probably one of the more original movies this year, right? And I think that's what makes it stand out. What do you think?
yeah, I mean, I think, I think it's interesting because I think it does a lot of its own thing, and then I think there's some things that are kind of like that comfort blanket that horror fans have come to know and enjoy, and I think it's a really good mashup of all of those things. I think you have a good story and good characters, and it just makes for this, you know, kind of mashup of a great film.
And it helps to have a great actress like Sosie Bacon, right?
Yeah, I mean, Sosie kills it. The performances are really good. I think the scares are really good, but Sosie, absolutely. I mean, she carries that movie on her back. She's in every second of that film.
Yeah, that downward spiral.
Jesus. I mean, she really brought it. She's really, really good.
And I didn't know she had famous lineage until I saw her with Kevin Bacon. I was like,
She
oh,
does.
no wonder.
Yeah. She does. She does.
Which was a surprise to me. I was like, oh, wow. Okay. Now I can see where the talent comes from.
Oh yeah, but she firmly stands on her own 2 feet. If
Oh, yeah.
if anybody ever wanted to say anything about her getting to where she is because of her parents, they can just eat those words.
And let's talk about the music. My God.
The music, yeah, the score is so good in the film. Parker actually was one of the first things he did when I got to New Jersey to shoot the movie. He sat me down in his car and popped the music on. Was like, listen to this. And it was really, really trippy and really, really dark. And the way it incorporated into the film was so good. I mean, it became its own character.
Mm-hmm.
The score and the sound design absolutely became its own thing. Like the way, even the little things, like the way the cat food dish opened and you hear that, the snapping of that. I mean, it was all so thought out and so well done.
And for your character, you're a detective. You're very likable.
Oh, thanks.
So that's.
Well, I hope so.
We're rooting for you and her character. So
yeah.
for you, what was it like forming that character? Because you're not the usual detective. You kind of play it a little softer.
Yeah, I mean, I and that was important to me. Like, I didn't want to be just like a cop. Because he has a relationship with Rose. He has a connection to Rose. The detective thing almost comes secondary. The relationship is really what comes first, because these two people have known each other for a long time. They know each other intimately. They've gone through growing pains together. They love each other, but also drive each other completely insane. And that was kind of the relationship we had built, because you have to create all of this history without ever showing it. There's no monologuing, there's no flashbacks, there's no nothing. So you have to create this relationship between these two people, and you have to understand what it is like immediately. And so me and Sosie got to sit down and talk about all that and run scenes together, and it was a lot of fun. We tried to inject like a little bit of levity into it, because the movie's so heavy, and for whatever reason, me and Sosie just thought it's just super funny to watch these two people that just drive each other nuts put into such a hectic scenario. and she was great. She was very giving with her time, and I had a really nice time working with her on building the relationship between the two of them.
Yeah, and you contrast with your partner because he's very insensitive to mental illness, and some of the
Well,
things he says is like, whoa.
yeah, and that's a that's a thing throughout the film, right? I mean, you get
Mm-hmm.
people calling her crazy, a nut job, they, calling her names and dismissing what she's going through, and what she's going through is very real to her.
Mm-hmm.
In the movie, because it's a horror film, it is actually real, but you know that is one of those things. It's like that's what people do in real life. They just dismiss people like that. Oh, she's crazy. Oh, she's nuts. Oh, she's out of her mind. And it's like, what I liked about Joel is he's there to support her no matter what. If it's real to her, then it's real to him. Great. I'm here. I got you. And I really liked that part of him. I thought that's a really interesting, place to come from as a person, to just believe somebody's experience and be there for them.
And then the ending of the film, obviously, we don't want to ruin it for people who haven't seen it, but there's a possibility, maybe a sequel. It's kind of ambiguous.
Look, I think it would be really cool. Nobody's talked to me. I think I'm low man on the totem pole for those conversations. But I think so. I mean, you never know, but I think there's definitely a possibility. I think with how successful it was, I think with how much people enjoyed the film, I would be shocked if conversations weren't at least being had about it, right?
Yeah, franchise. Who doesn't want a horror franchise? Hello.
Come on. They're doing a new Final Destination, for God's sake.
And you were in Scream earlier.
I was, yeah.
So, all right, let's talk about the viral marketing. How genius was that? They were
It
at
was the
baseball
smartest thing ever.
games.
It was incredible. The marketing was incredible. Like, it was so, so, so smart. And I think that was a big part of it. I think the marketing got people interested. I think it got people interested who maybe weren't the biggest horror film fans in the world interested. I think it really pulled people in. And then I think once that brought people in, word of mouth just started to hit, and it just started snowballing from there. But that marketing was, I mean, killer. It was crazy how good that was. So smart, so clever.
Whoever came up with that needs a really big
their own corner office.